we have Dr. Santhushya Fernando, consultant community physician, Deputy Director of Sri Jawadanapura General Hospital. She will be telling us about the role of aesthetics in coping up with stress. Dr. Fernando, I believe you're there. And
yes, okay.
Hi. So you're going to tell us about how aesthetics are going to help us cope up with the stress we experience in our day-to-day lives, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Ruki. Thank you, Ruki. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. So I will go on for my presentation. So creating art is a unique human trait. When a child is big enough to form a sentence, one of the first things she says to us is, "Tell me a story." So the creative process, where you are the whether you are the creator of art or the recipient of art, is a fundamental human trait. Probably the reason that humans can create art is because humans have problems that animals do not, and creativity helps to navigate the complexities of human experience. The pursuit of aesthetics, such as drama, music, art, can enhance mental health. Group art creates strong human bonds. Poetry or prose writing can enhance the love of reading and widen the language skills and improve a communication ability. These are important to have non-confrontational relationships and to improve your negotiation skills. When you are less in friction, you are automatically in a less stressful condition. This is why art is so often used as a mode of therapy in children, in patients, and with those with mental disease. Now, the stresses of adult life are more complex and more mercurial, but we all know what kind of stresses they are. They can be financial stress, family stress, relationship and employment stress, to name a few. There are the more existential stresses we have in life, such as what is the meaning of this life, why is life so unfair, why do bad things happen to good people, and so on. So art touches a part of our mind that science and data cannot. It moves us moves something inside us that in a way science cannot. And art has the power to alter the perspectives in a way that facts cannot. So you come into contact with art, with one story of your life, then you experience art and you leave it with another story of your life. In 2018, I co-authored a book for the United Nations titled Montage of Sexuality in Sri Lanka. And to write this book, the authors, including myself, spoke to many people and found out some interesting facts. We found out that in Sri Lanka, many married couples are in sexless marriages. What was worse was that many were in loveless marriages. And this was a major source of stress in their life. One of the main reasons for this was their lack of erotic intelligence. Now, erotic intelligence is everything but the narrow internet-based idea of sex. Now, it is the intelligence that equips us to speak, move, relate in a manner where we can develop an alchemy with another person. There is no stronger force in the world than art to find us the language to have true, bold, challenging conversations with ourselves and others. So let's see how art reduces stress. First of all, art gives hope because most of the art is beautiful. Beautiful paintings, dances, lyrical music, all these things have a proven effect on de-stressing the mind because of its escapist nature. We can have a hope for a beautiful tomorrow or a beautiful outcome when we escape into the magical land of art. Even writers like Enid Blyton, Tolkien, J.K. Rowling, Salman Rushdie all have elements of magical realism and escapism in their literature. In the Metropolitan Art Museum in the US, for decades, the highest selling art is Monet's Lilies. This is because things of beauty give us joy and de-stress us. Secondly, art gives the words and the form to our stress pain and grief. When we are going through hard times, we may not have the words to express it. When we don't have the words to express it, then we won't have catharsis. So our pain and stress will consume us. Art comes to the rescue at times like this and reassures us that pain and failure are a part of life. Therefore, art can be sad for us and art can be sad with us. And suddenly, we are not alone. Consider the famous lyrics of this sad song by Gunadasa Kapuge. Some of you might know it. I will tell the words. Taru Malyayam Visikara Ahasvile Irahanda Mirika Diakara Sagarehe Andure Unnemi Lovame Pavi Maharada ඇගිය දවසේ. දැන් මීට වඩා බිඳුණු හදවතක් ගැන කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? Don't these lyrics give the shape of heartbreak and don't you feel like you're not alone in this misery? So knowing that you are not alone gives us great perspective to overcome stress, because you know that it had happened to other people as well, and it's a part of a larger picture. I would now like to read to you my favorite, it's not the best, but my favorite quotation on love in English literature, which I found when I was about 16 years in this book called Ground Beneath Her Feet, written by Salman Rushdie. This is about love. This love, earthly love, is a truce between metamorphs, a temporary agreement not to shapeshift while kissing or holding hands. Love is a beach towel spread on shifting sands. Love is an intimate democracy, a compact that insists on renewals. And you can be voted out overnight, however big your majority. It is fragile, precarious, and it is all we can have without selling our souls to one party or the other. It is what we can have while remaining free. Think about these amazing words. Hasn't this happened to some of us? Sometimes we invest so much time and effort and body and soul into a relationship, and we tend to believe that our emotional and other investments into a relationship give us the majority power within a marriage or a relationship. But in the blink of an eye, it can all change and you can be voted out overnight, no matter how big your majority. This is the mercurial nature of love. And this knowledge is surely something worthwhile to have as we navigate through life. In this way, art prepares us to the unknowns of life and sometimes the inevitabilities of life. Thirdly, art fights the commercial illusion of life. It reminds us that there is confusion, detours, unusual things, and ambiguity in life, and that it is okay. So it gives us the power of resilience. None of us are having the perfect looks, the wonderful workplaces, the faultless spouses that we seem to be having on social media. Every time commercialized media tries to define how love, relationship, or life should be, art springs up and speaks to us in its independent voice and says, no, it's okay to wait for several decades for a moment of love, as in the time of love in the time of cholera. It is okay to aspire to, I want to hold your hand, like the Beatles say. It is okay to be a candle in the wind. It's okay to go on a magic carpet. It is okay to be conflicted. It is okay to be grey. It is okay to be imperfect. This perspective of our human fallibility makes us resilient against pain and stress. Art teaches us that sometimes to be writers comes with a price. In the Hunuwate Katava, the Caucasian Chalk Circle, written by Bertolt Brecht and translated by Henry Jaisinger, the Potegura, I think most of us have seen this. So the speaker of this play, at the end of Act 1, points to Grusha, who is running away to the mountains with the rescued Prince Michael, and says, Balavame Arumaya Yahapat Bavehi Shapaya. So art ventures in you to a life with wisdom about the things to come. It reminds us that being righteous, upright, having integrity might end up with a big punishment. Fourthly, good art advocates for inclusivity rather than exclusivity. Fyodor Dostoevsky wrote that the highest aspiration for a human is to become one and remain one. Powerful art breaks the petty barriers within our hearts. One of the most important messages of all art is that we are a part of a larger humanity. The moment we subscribe to the notion that our our importance and of our exclusivity, you lose the experience of belonging to the wonder of human existence. The moment you feel exclusive because of your wealth, beauty, family, inheritance, school, university, profession, or marriage, you become a very limited and a small person. I think this struggle to be exclusive and to hold on to exclusivity is a great stress of modern life. This is why a lot of people in this world break the principles of integrity and humanity to climb to the top. And when they climb there, they do not want to give up that power. If you can't give up your idea of exclusivity, you actually become pretty much an insufferable person. When your sense of power and exclusivity is the dominant feature, you become a punishment to your spouse, children, and colleagues. Then you become the stress. So, my humble request to Visakians is to remember the human experience that you gained in school and actually leave school and become a part of the wider humanity. Actually, it is more important to be a human than to be a Visakian. Another great stressor of modern life is that we punish ourselves for the sins of others. We spend a lot of time, energy criticizing, reliving, labeling sinners, so called sinners among us. Actually, the sinners are happily sinning away, and by burning for their deeds, we punish ourselves. I'm sure many of us, many of you are familiar with the timeless drama Maname by Professor Edirivira Sarachandra. When we went on all the school trips, I think we all usually sang its happy songs like Premen, Manaranjitave and so on. But in the last scene of this drama, the princess confesses to the Vedi king that she loves him and that she was instrumental in killing her husband, Prince Maname. And the Vedi Raju is very upset. And she sings. I'm not a good singer, but I will sing these two lines. Chapala viyasita prabala alin nutala nuyama dubala jivaya. And the Vadiraju says to her, Sindavu gela samia kavarasene yantayava vane nosita. He chases her away. And then she sings a swan song before she dies of a broken heart. And she says, Kim the mevan duka moda manulova at the vina angana denu karuna masit vadana rajindu mana. And she sings, Matesa, Matesa, Balenuya Daya Esina. Think about it. Why do these so-called sinners sin? Because the life force within them is weak. Dubala jivaya. So also you can interchange this word chapala vyasita prabala alin. Sometimes you can interchange this word alaya with chapala vyasita prabala krodin, prabala dveshin, prabala vairin. So it is so good if you can understand that those who inflict pain on you do this because their life force is weak. And what do you think about her plea? Ma desa balanuya daya asina. This is one of the main purposes of art, to instill compassion, first towards yourself and then towards others. This empathy will help us to be less turbulent in the times of stress, and by expanding our understanding of human nature and the complexity of nature and preparing us to embrace the ups and downs of life and instilling in us a capacity to let go. So these are the main ways in which art prepares us for life stresses. And with this, I conclude my presentation. And thank you very much for taking the time to listen. And very sorry for my rather poor singing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Santhushya Fernando. That was so nice. You actually listening to you gave me goosebumps. I can just show it to you. And listening to you actually made me just stress free. And you really, really superbly explained how we can use aesthetics to reduce and also eliminate stress. Thank you very much. And don't worry, your singing was very good enough. That was Dr.
Thank,
Santhushya
thank
Fernando, consultant community physician, Deputy Director of Sri Jayawardenepura General Hospital.